Well, now to Flint, where the water crisis isn't the only health issue under investigation. Today, Governor Snyder and state health officials reported a spike in Legionnaire's disease in the Flint area. The increase was detected in Genesee County between June 2014 and November 2015. There were 87 cases and 10 deaths over that 17-month period. Right now, it's not clear if the cases are related to the high levels of lead in Flint's drinking water system. But to put that into perspective, we checked with Macomb County. Now, they reported a total of 48 cases from 2014 to 2015. That's 39 fewer over a similar time period. In the meantime, the National Guard arrived in Flint today. 7 members helped distribute bottled water and filters, but crews say they're still understaffed and short on supply. And now it turns out the feds warned the Michigan DEQ back in April about Flint's high lead levels in the water. Governor Snyder told our Kevin Dietz that no one relayed that information to him back then.
There's a whole set of issues. I can't speak to the federal government. In terms of the DEQ telling me there was a real issue, that didn't happen until the October timeframe.
Now, the governor says he welcomes the investigation to find out who knew what and when.
Defender Kevin Dietz shows us what that federal investigation is going to look like. He also looks into the possibility of anyone going to prison.
A federal investigation is underway in the Flint water crisis, and many people, from local residents to Hollywood celebrities, are calling for the arrest of Governor Rick Snyder or members of his administration. Are they overreacting, or is a criminal case on the horizon? The Flint water crisis is a monumental blunder that we will not know the full effects of for decades. For children impacted by high lead levels, there is no cure. Millions, probably billions of our tax dollars will be spent on infrastructure, healthcare, and civil lawsuits. But will anyone go to prison?
When you're dealing with incompetence and malfeasance in office that's just the result of people not doing their job, it becomes difficult to turn that into a crime. Because
Keith Corbett spent more than 2 decades as an assistant U.S. attorney putting together high-profile prosecutions. He says it's doubtful anyone intended to poison Flint's drinking water, and unlikely anyone took a bribe or kickback.
I think you're just talking about a situation where the people he put in positions of authority made bad decisions, and those bad decisions may have horrible consequences for the city of Flint.
Governor Rick Snyder, former MDEQ Director Dan Wyatt, and former Flint Financial Emergency Manager Darnell Early were in charge.
But you're ready and willing to talk to federal prosecutors if necessary?
Oh, obviously. We already called to say we're ready to cooperate in any way needed.
Incompetence, Corbett says, isn't enough, no matter how serious the consequences. But that doesn't mean there won't be criminal charges.
They start at the beginning, the decision to disconnect from Detroit and go to the Flint River. So they're going to start there, and that's the logical point, and they're going to go all the way back to today.
Former Detroit FBI boss Andy Arena says even if it takes a grand jury to force the issue, the feds will find out who knew what and when.
Test results, emails, phone logs, and actual testimony of people who were involved in this. Why did you make that decision? Who did you talk to? Who assisted you in making that decision?
Both agree there could be EPA violations, but if criminal charges are coming, it's much more likely to come from a cover-up than the decisions that were made.
If they engage in some sort of activity, generate false documents or try to conceal it, then you get into an area where you may be able to articulate some violations of the mail fraud statute, the wire fraud statute.
Those in positions of power will be questioned, but will they tell the truth?
When you start to mislead a federal grand jury or federal investigators, if you start doctoring documentation, destroying documentation, that's where it becomes a crime.
People are already questioning timelines given by the governor and state officials. Emails and memos are surfacing, raising doubts that everything possible was done as soon as it could be to limit exposure to lead. Lying to the public and to the media is not a crime. Lying to federal investigators is.
The state is probably going to comply rather than putting themselves in the situation where they're looking like they're obstructing an investigation, because that's going to make it more likely the government's going to say, hey, wait a minute, why won't you show us what you got?
Our experts say from a criminal standpoint, this is not a complicated case to investigate. Federal investigators will find out quickly if the state is willing to turn over key documents or resisting. The longer this investigation takes, the more likely someone will be charged criminally. Kevin Dietz, Defenders.
All right, Kevin. Meanwhile, the people of Flint are still in desperate need of safe drinking water. So Help Me Hank is teaming up with Art Van and Catholic Charities to help distribute bottled water, and we still need your help to do that. You can drop off bottled water to any Art Van location in Metro Detroit, Lansing, or Flint, and that water will quickly be given to those in need.